if you don't have skills, you can't pay the bills. That's, I guess you could say, like a little revelation or realization that I had recently, right? That's the title of the video, by the way, right? It's kind of like I said, a realization that I had recently, right? So as of right now, I work in retail. I've been working in retail for the past maybe 4 years, not at the same location, but just kind of retail and fast food in general, right? Now, obviously, we know it's a cap to how much you can earn in those, in those workspaces unless you move up in them, right? You become a team manager, you know what I mean? You become a manager or whatever you may call it, right? Obviously, if you want to increase your earning potential in those type of work fields, you're going to have to move up the ladder. You're going to have to climb the rank. And that's just not with retail or fast food. That could be with any, other type of work field in general. But especially depending on the skill that it requires to do that, right? So I'm at a point in my life, right? I'm 20 years old, going on 21. I want to be able to start my own life and be able to do that in a decently comfortable way, right? I don't want to have to willingly struggle, especially if I had a means or the way to earn a little bit more money. In that way, I don't have to go through struggle. I don't have to try to, live, super tight, I guess you could say, or whatever. Now, I know not everybody's circumstances and situation is the same. Some people gotta make it do what it do, depending on the certain, scenarios that they may be in. They may not have the skills to acquire that tech job. They may have, a bad record, you know what I mean? And when companies see that, a bad criminal record, they might not want to hire you for that job. They might not want to hire you for that position, right? So obviously everybody's circumstances and situations is different. But like I was just saying, right? If I have the will in order to try to put myself in a better situation, if I can willingly do that and try to earn a little bit more money, then I'm gonna try to do that, right? Obviously in a legal way. We ain't out here robbing, we ain't out here finessing, we ain't on none of that, right? But I'm at a point to where I want to be able to do that, like I said, in a decently comfortable way. I know I won't probably be able to be like, oh, just super financially set, right off the bat or whatever, but at least be able just to take care of like the normal necessities, like you would say, right? Your gas bill, your water bill, electricity bill, an apartment, you know what I mean? I would say a car note, me preferably, and not to get too sidetracked, right? Because I kind of am, right? But when it comes to the car aspect, I would rather just buy a car in cash. That way you don't have to worry about paying the note on top of insurance, right? If you around my age, you know that they coming for you for that car insurance, man. If you young, they like, nah, man, they might definitely crash the whip. We charging him $450 a month for insurance. So like, if I don't have to pay a car note, I'd rather, not do that, right? But with that being said, with that being put to the side, let's go ahead and get to the topic, right? Having skills to pay the bills, right? You will see a lot from Generation Z and just people today in general, right? A lot of people had an argument that, you don't need a degree, you don't need to go to college to get a good job and earn a lot of money. And to that notion, to that saying, that is true. We're blessed with many different outcomes, many different avenues of making revenue, making money without having to go and get school and without having to go and spend 4 years at that college and get that piece of paper to just then when you graduate not even be guaranteed that job position, right? It's multiple ways that we can make money now in this generation, especially with technology advancing over the years, right? But even with that being put to the side, right? Even if you didn't go to college, even if you didn't take the option of getting schooling, right? You still need to have some type of skill in order to garner, to garner more money, to be able to get more revenue and move up, right? Nobody starts off as an entrepreneur and just automatically booms overnight. No. If anything, you're going to lose money in the beginning, and it's going to take you a little while to actually learn and develop the skill in order to make more money and in order to become more successful at being an entrepreneur, right? Nothing in this life just gets handed to you unless, you feel me, you got an inheritance and you just balling like that. Hey, I ain't hating on you. Do your thing. Just use it wisely, right? But nothing comes to anybody easy in this life, right? Like I said, even if you didn't take the schooling route, or the traditional route, as we say, right? You still gonna have to have some type of value that you have to be able to provide to the world, right? Or just value in general, right? Like I said with the entrepreneur example, right? And to that statement that I just said, right? People say you don't necessarily have to go to college in order to make money, in order to have a successful career in life. In a sense, it is true, but I feel like at the same time that could be misleading, because if you don't, like I said, if you don't have any valuable skills to provide to the world, then how do you expect to ever move up and make more money, right? You can't expect to work at McDonald's and make $25 an hour flipping cheeseburgers, right? It's just not something that's viewed as that valuable to the world, right? And it's also something that doesn't take that much skill to do. So why should the company, the employer that employs you, pay you $25 to make a cheeseburger when they can have somebody randomly off the street come in, learn the job, and do the same thing as you, right? That's why I feel like, in a sense, we shouldn't just dismember and just disregard getting an education in general, right? Because, for instance, we still need lawyers, we still need doctors, we still need scientists, just things of that akin, right? Things that are like that, right? Doctors are important, right? They get paid that much to do the job that they do because they provide value to the world, right? They're checking up on somebody, making sure their body is in a good condition, making sure that they are healthy, and making sure that they are leading and living a healthy life, right? That's why they get paid so much to do that. They got to sacrifice and take the time, years out of their life in order to learn that skill, in order to become skillful at it. And that way, once they show and prove that skill, that's how they can get paid more and start garnering, more revenue, right? Same thing with a surgeon, right? Why do you think they get paid so much to do what they do? Because they have somebody's lives in their hands. They got somebody's lives, at stake when they are doing and performing a job, right? Not only does it take, like I said with the doctor example, sacrificing years to learn that skill in order to become good at it, right? But when you're doing it, you provide a value. Your value is higher because you literally have somebody's life at stake. You know what I mean? Anything that you can do can be life or death when you are in there. So when it comes to moving up, when it comes to becoming just more successful in life in general, but as far as the revenue aspect, I feel like regardless of wherever lane that you decide to go down, whether that be the traditional route of getting a college degree, getting a good job and working that job until you are stable enough and you are able to retire and then live your life, or if you decide to go on your own path, on your own route, you become an entrepreneur, or you use the qualities, you use the things to your advantage that's in your environment to help you pay your bills, you know what I mean, regardless of whatever it may be. I feel like either way you go, either side you take, you gotta have some type of skill and some type of value to provide in order to move up and become better in that said profession or in that said thing that you do, right? Like, anyways, if you are in the NBA, right, and you are not that skillful, but yet you try to demand a contract that says otherwise, you know what I mean? How could you be demanding that asking price when you aren't performing at that, level of that type of money, right? So that's what I wanted to come on here and talk about. Uh, I guess you could say kind of food for thought, and something to think about, you know what I mean? Let me know if it's some things that I could have said better, some things that I may have left out, or some things that you can go about making money legally, right? With without having to work that hard, you know what I mean? Or what type of other skills you can have to make money, right? So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'm out.